Hi there, this is Terry with the Doorbell Deco Decor. Thank you for joining me again tonight. Tonight we're going to be making a patriotic teardrop swag. I haven't made one for a while, but I thought I'll share it with you guys and give you a little variety in some of the Facebooks. But I've got, as usual, I've got probably more supplies than what we'll use, but I'm not sure what we're going to end up doing. But first off, I've got a 24-inch teardrop evergreen swag, and when you're thinking about evergreen, it's not. You can use it for not just for Christmas. You can use it for a variety of holidays, and the key to that is just to make sure that you have all the evergreen covered, and it really adds a lot of fullness to your final project. Anyway, this is a 24-inch teardrop evergreen swag, and I've got a variety of flowers. Like I said, I'm not really sure what we're going to use, but started out with some red hydrangeas, got some Queen Anne's lace, got some cosmos, some more Queen Anne's lace, and I've got some blue, really deep blue roses, blue hydrangeas. And then this is just in case we need some filler, this boxwood, and then some ficus leaves. But I don't know, like I said, I don't know what we'll use yet. And then I've got several different picks also, patriotic picks. Got these little like snowball kind of picks, and I think I picked these up at Hobby Lobby last year on clearance after the holiday was over. And that's really important, especially if you're going to be making a lot of projects, is to wait until after the season's over. And most places really mark them down. I think I got these for like, they were at least 66% off. They may have been more, maybe 80%, I can't remember. Same thing with the teardrop swag. These all go on sale. You can pick these up for a song at Hobby Lobby after the season. But I've got these, and then I've got these curly cues, also patriotic, sparkly. And found these cute firecrackers, and then some stars, and you may or may not use all of those. And then I've got a variety of ribbon as well. We'll put a big bow here on the top of the swag. I've got this is a 4-inch. I don't use that too much, and really probably my teardrop swags are about the only place that I'll use this, but I always use wired ribbon, but this is a 4-inch wired patriotic ribbon. And then I've got a couple of 2.5-inch patriotic ribbons. And then an 1.5-inch patriotic ribbon. So, and of course, we'll always need needle nose pliers. Everybody knows me, knows I use those for everything. Got these, and then I've always have my heavier duty wire cutters for some of these stems that are a little bit thicker. And of course, scissors. Got my ribbon scissors and my other scissors. I never use my ribbon scissors for anything else, or they'll get dulled. And got a couple of twist ties that I'm going to use for the bow. And then I've also been using this Easy Bow bow maker. I've just been using that for a couple of weeks now probably, and trying to get the hang of using this, but I've really starting to like it. It's pretty simple, and you can make a bow really quickly, and it's pretty inexpensive. You can get it anywhere like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and of course Amazon has everything. So, and then we also have hot glue. So, all right, well, let's get started. First thing that we're going to do, of course, after we cut off our tag here, we're going to fluff the evergreen, and as you see, it's been stored, and a bunch of stuff piled on top of it. It's really flat right now, if you can see that. But to fluff it, we're just going to take each individual tie and just kind of lift it up, just like you'd fluff a Christmas tree. And this will make a big difference in our final product. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Now, one thing we do want to do, we're going to want to leave a little channel down through the middle there, because we're going to lay our ribbon there and some of our ornaments. We'll just be pulling these out. And I wanted to let you guys know too, if I missed your comments or any questions, please know I don't do it take it personally. It's really hard to create and to get all the comments and questions, but I always go back and I try to answer them after the live is done. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. Hopefully I'll see them. And I'll check down here periodically. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Judy. Hi, Lourdes. I hope I pronounced that right. Hopefully you guys had a really good weekend. I hope your weather was better than ours was. It's been miserable this weekend. Cold. It's supposed to rain tonight. Got down in the low 20s here today, last night. I think even down south got pretty cool today. Okay. All right. Well, that gives us a good start. And this swag already has a tie on it. You can see there where my finger is. But I never do trust that. And I'll go ahead and put my own tie on it. But we'll go ahead and just for the sake of time, we'll go ahead and use this one. A lot of the swags don't have a tie, and for that I do it just like I do my wreaths. I use the rustic wire. Let's see if I can move this a little closer for you. This one is going to be going from the back forward, so we're going to use our 4-inch ribbon to start with. And I'm going to go ahead and just measure out a tail because I want it kind of long and drapey. I'm just holding it up to the swag right now. I know you guys couldn't see that, but anyway, I'm kind of generous with the tail to start with, and I can always shorten it later. Well, I looked at my tail, but I also need to look and see how big of a bow I need. So hold on just a second. I'm going to hold it up here. Okay, it looks like about 5-inch bow is what we're going to go with. And this easy bow, it has measurements on it. So I'm going to make a 5-inch bow, and there's a 5-inch mark right here. That's handy. It's really easy to see what you got while you're working, and you can make adjustments as you need to. Like I said, it's starting to grow on me. There's been a learning curve, as with anything, I guess. So like I said, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Did anybody do anything fun? Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda. Brent let me go ahead and paint it. It always makes him scared whenever I start walking around with a paintbrush and a bucket. Brent's my husband. Things I get a lot of cockamamie ideas that I think all of us creators do. All right, like I said, I'm going to be pretty generous with this tail for right now. Okay. Hi, Denise from Wichita. Oh, Mickey, you have this bow maker also and struggle with it. Have you had it very long? I think it's gotten easier every time I've used it. Now I'm just trying to decide what I want to do, if I want to use 4 ribbons or if I want to use just 3. The swag's not real big, so I think I'll probably go with 3. I'm just looking at my combinations that I have here. That silver's looking pretty appealing, but we've got some silver in the background bow, so that might be enough. And this is how I do it. I just trial and error. A lot of error, but trial and error, looking at it and seeing what I like. I think I'm liking the flag. Is that how you guys do it too? Just hold it up and imagine in your head. I really like this flag ribbon. I think we'll go with that. And probably this. So, all right. All right. This does actually go a lot quicker than using my Pro Bow, but I still love my Pro Bow. I like that you can kind of visualize the rib or the bow as you're going. I like a big bow on most of my projects. Nice full bow. I think it adds a lot of value to your project. Right. Now we'll use our final one. With this, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. One more. Now here's the tricky part, getting it off of here and getting the tie underneath of it. Well, you're keeping everything kind of taut. I've had to redo more than one bow doing this. Get your fingers all fumbled up. And what you want to do, you want to make it slightly tight, and then you can go ahead and kind of arrange your bow loops. Make sure it's what you want. Okay, now I'm going to put the other twist tie underneath. I hope you guys can see that all right. Now I'm going to let my twist tie slip out while I was working on it. There we go. Keeps wanting to go into that ribbon. Okay, there we go. Now let's pull it tight. And while you're fluffing your ribbon, put your hands on the inside of these bows and the ribbon or the bow loops, and that's what it's going to give you the fullness. And you can kind of manhandle at this point. You know, spread it apart and get those bow loops good and full. We'll move this out of the way. Okay. Just like this. Okay. So this is what we have right now. And we'll continue to fluff and pull at the bow until I'm done. You'll see me pulling on it the whole time. Okay, let me cut off the back of the twist tie and tighten it down just a little bit more. Okay, now what I'm going to do is fasten it onto my swag. Let me raise you guys back up a little bit again. There. We're just going to bring it through and around to the back. Just like that. I was afraid I might get my bow too big using this 4-inch ribbon, and it's only a 24-inch swag, but actually I could have probably gone with 6-inch loops. But that'll save room for us to put some other goodies. So, all right, cut off this twist tie. All right, so that's what we have so far. All right, now let's, what I like to do now, I'll go ahead and we're going to drape some of these ribbons underneath and just almost make like a waterfall effect, kind of like this, okay? Like I said, I'm going to drape some of these down through here. I'm thinking this might be a little bit too big. It's going to hide a big part of my evergreen, but let me kind of try it out here. Just going to kind of pinch it, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to join it down here and then let it kind of drape out. I don't know, I think that'll work. Okay. What I did, I just grabbed a twist tie over there, and I'm just going to secure this around one of the branches. Or if I wanted to, I could also just take some of these branches and just do it like this. You see that? See what I did? Let me turn it a little bit. Can you see that? I just took the twist ties and just used that to join my ribbon. Okay? Now I think I'm going to use these two on the other side. Maybe. Let me play around a little bit. I'm going to kind of stagger it a little bit. Let's see, make it where you guys can see. But one's going to be a little bit higher than the other. I just want it real full. And the ribbon will kind of tell you where it wants to drape. You just kind of play with it, kind of comb it almost, and then we'll pinch it. I think it wants to be about right there. And there again, I just used the ties on the evergreen to do that. Everything's rustic. It's been really popular. Okay, now I'm just going to cut this one off a little, kind of short. I'm going to dovetail it. And it'll just kind of drape down here. I hope you guys can see. Is anybody having trouble seeing what I'm doing? This one I'm going to cut short also. Might trim it shorter later. We'll just let it kind of, or we could have had the tails also going up over the top as well, but I have other plans for there. Okay, we'll come down here and we'll dovetail these ends. To dovetail, we're just going to fold the ribbon in half, and we're going to cut toward the center of the ribbon, just like that. This guy is going to need to be a little bit shorter, but we'll deal with that in a little bit. And I like the staggered look. I don't like them just completely even. I'd like them staggered. You can see this one's a little shorter than this one, and this one's going to be a little shorter than this one, and these two are going to be different, just like I staggered them here. And we may even go back later and trim a little bit more from them. It's always easier to go a lot longer than what you're going to need. You can always shorten it. And I also have a fix in case you get it, if you need it a little bit longer too. But I've learned just to leave them a little longer. It's always easier to deal with. So, okay, so that's what we have so far. Try and spread this out just a little bit. This one I'll probably end up cutting this one much shorter, probably up in this area. But we'll wait until we get a little bit farther along. Okay. Cut this a little bit. Because that's the one I can see. It's bothering me. So, okay, now we've got to decide what we want to do as far as ornaments, and this is a project that I've also used just Christmas ornaments. You know, out there again after the season, all the Christmas ornaments goes on sale, and those glitter round ornaments that are like $11, I think, at Hobby Lobby for a dozen. And those go on sale. I think they're usually at 66% off. So anyway, after the season, just remember to check the sales and load up for next year. So, okay, so like I said, I've got these. I was thinking these remind me of fireworks. I was thinking maybe put some of these up here and behind. And then I've got a firecracker. You can do like this. What do you think? There again, we're just, what we're going to be doing is filling in the spaces around the evergreen. But I think this is what we're going to do. We'll start out here, and then I've got some flowers and different things for the rest of it. So now to connect these, there's several different ways you could But what I like to do is use twist ties. It seems like it's a little bit more secure, especially since this is kind of a thin evergreen base. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to twist tie it to one of the evergreens. But I'm going to make this up here a little bit higher so it looks like the fireworks are coming out. Like that. And what did I do with my twist ties? I'm just going to take just a 4-inch twist tie. I'm going to go back to here to the back and just tie it onto the evergreen. And I usually will go ahead and do it in 2 different places to make it a little bit more secure. Just tighten it down here. Trying to get the end of it clipped off. There. Another thing I forgot was my trash can over here. So I'm just collecting it there. Bring some of that forward. There. And I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see. You've got the spine of the evergreen, and then you've got these different tails, and I'm going to sneak this in behind there just to kind of hide the mechanics, and I'm actually going to connect it to the spine of the evergreen. I'm going to go right here to the spine right here. Okay. Then once we get done attaching everything, then we'll come and clean up the back. You don't want all those mechanics showing. Now, if I was just working on this by myself and not trying to show you guys, I would actually have this hanging backwards on my wreath easel. It makes it a little easier to do it. And we're just going to tighten that and cut off the end. Okay. And now I know that's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Whoops, you can't see it, can you? That's what we have so far. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put the firecracker on here. First one. Looking at this, I could have maybe not used quite as much red, white, and blue, and maybe used maybe red, white, or blue on the ribbon, or on the bow, I mean. That might have helped some of this stand out a little bit better. But I'm going to bring this down. I want this tail to show, and I'm going to curl that around. But and I'm going to try and get it just like I did with the other, try and get it back by the spine of the evergreen. With this one, I want it kind of offset, kind of staggered, so I'll put one tie on the spine of the evergreen and then another one on one of these twist ties. Or I could do like I did with the ribbon and just use a couple of twist ties and hold it in. But for this, I think I want it a little bit more secure than that. Okay. When I like my placement, I'm just going to turn it around. Take my twist tie, or my zip tie, I should say. Uh-oh, Fran, are you frozen? Is everybody else frozen too? I hope not. I hope not. All this technology has been kind of a thorn sometimes. But I think even if it does freeze up, if it's too bad, you can always go back and watch the replay. And I know I've done that on a couple of lives that I've watched. I'm using zip ties on these, and on some of the smaller things I've used glue, but these are pretty good sized objects I'm putting in there right now, so I think that the zip ties would make it a little bit more secure. Or you could just use floral wire too. So whoops. I'm just going to find one of the greenery ties. Put a zip tie on that one. So, and as you can see, this is filling up pretty quickly. It's not going to take a whole lot. So, like I said, it's only a 24-inch one. But this is a good size, especially if you're shipping. Shipping is not too bad. You can put it diagonally in a box and it fits in there pretty nicely. Turn this around here. All I'm doing is cutting off the excess. I'm going to cut off these two ends also. I have to remember to get my trash can over here the next time I do this. It's kind of like when you move into a house. You don't know what you're missing until you go to use it. So, all right. Now we're just going to, one thing on the teardrop swag, you don't want to lose your teardrop shape. So, you know, you're going to want your bigger things up here at the top and then the smaller things down here. And I think right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some flowers in there. Cut off a couple of these and decide where we're going to put them. And always save your leaves. Those leaves I'll use to cover up some of the mechanics on the back when we get done. Wanted to go ahead and kind of curl this streamer here. Want that to be sure and show. I'm kind of thinking I need something right here to kind of even this out. Thinking that might look good right there. And there, I'm going to use my twist ties on the wreath here. Kind of tighten that down, and then I'm going to hot glue it in once I'm happy with the placement. I'm not going to do it yet, but I want to make sure that we get everything in. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off too. Cutting it really short. Like I said, if I was thinking, I would have maybe brought that up over the top. But right now I've got it already secured on there, so it's too late. Well, not too late for live video. That's not to say I wouldn't do it later after we're not live. That's what I do a lot. I'll do a live video and I'll make a project, and then I'll after all's said and done, then I'll go back and I'll correct it and get it ready for listing. So, okay. I want to bring something to put in here also, and might go ahead and put another couple of hydrangeas down there. So you guys have any questions? Oh, Rosemarie's wanting to know where I got this wooden stand. My husband made that for me. And he did it using directions on Julie Samaco, Southern Charms wreaths. She has a directions on how to make one of these on her blog. It is Julie Samaco, Southern Charm wreaths. And she's got lots of great information on her site. She's been a great mentor to me. Learned lots of things from her. She's just a wealth of information. Okay. Like I said, I'm just doing placement right now. Trying to decide where I don't want that evergreen showing in between these two ribbon tails. I'm thinking some white or some blue. Maybe some white here, blue. This might be a little bit too big. This is how I figure out what I'm going to do. I just go around and I kind of place it and then make my decision. Kind of liking that there. Everybody gets their own ways of doing things, but it's just what's worked with me for me. That I'll get everything all placed and then I'll glue it in. And I'm taking, these are, I think I got these from the Dollar Tree actually, but they're kind of small, so I'm using 2 of them. And you can make a pretty decent sized hydrangea, just joining them different, joining them together. Inexpensive, but they do look pretty. I'm going to put that right there. And it's going to be, it's okay if a little bit of our greenery shows at the end. I just don't want it, I don't want somebody looking at it and thinking Christmas. Okay. All right. Hi, Shorty Mac. Hi, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate all of you guys joining me and spending your Sunday evening with me. I know there's a lot of people doing lives these days. You got a lot of different choices you could make, but I really appreciate you coming to visit me. I think I'm going to put one of these in here. We'll get our florals all placed, and then we'll go and put some of the other pretties in. I think I like the Cosmos better. That's why I brought a lot of choices, so I could make up my mind and pick what I wanted. So are you guys all working on summer things now, or have you progressed on to Halloween, or are you still doing spring? I know some people already have started on Halloween. I feel like I'm still trying to catch up from spring. But here shortly I'll start on that though, Halloween and fall. So I'm not going to get caught behind like I did last year. Hi, Darla from Pennsylvania. Thank you. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm just getting rid of the leaves. Like I said, I'm trying to get rid of the green, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these leaves off. And I'll save those for later for something else. Okay. Like I said, we're just placing right now. Make another blue over here. Hi, Darlene. Thank you for joining. Hi, Jana. Yeah, if you're just joining, this will be saved on my Facebook site, so you can always watch the replay. And that way you can kind of start and stop it too when you want. And here shortly I'll be putting all of them on YouTube also. I've started kind of getting that set up. Okay. I just haven't gotten it finished yet. So, okay, now I'm thinking a little bit of white right here. There again, I'm getting rid of these little leaves. I'll be saving those, and we'll use those to cover up the mechanics on the back. It's one thing I always want to think about. You know, a lot of people have glass doors, and you know, you want it to look decent from both sides. Of course, it won't look as well as it does from the front, but you don't want somebody seeing a bunch of you know, pipe cleaners and wires and such sticking out. I'm just cutting off these ends. It looks like a couple of the flowers have fallen off, and I don't know where they're at, so I'm just going to cut that off. And I'm just going to put some of this white peeking out underneath there. Okay, and maybe one more white right down here. And I think that'll do it for the flowers. We'll get those glued in. This is a recipe you can use for any kind of holiday. I sold a lot of these teardrop swags. I couldn't even keep them in stock for fall. And whenever it gets closer to time, I'll show you how I make them, and it makes them real simple. But as soon as I list them, they'd be sold. I think people just like to use a little bit something different than wreaths sometimes. I like the look I like the look of a swag, and some people use them just to hang underneath a light post and or on either side of their garage. Make that offset just a little bit to the side. Okay. Whoops. I undid that whenever I put that flower in there. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn it towards me just to get a look here. See where we're at. I'm kind of wishing I might have put this down just a little bit lower. Kind of like offset like this. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So it's going to make the rest of it off kilter if I don't. There. It's not a whole lot of difference. It's only a couple of inches, but I just like the way that looks a little bit better. Right now I'm just doing the twist tie on this again. I needle those pliers and tighten that back up. Whoa, just about shot this at you here. That's one thing I used to always tell everybody, make sure when you're pulling with those needle and those pliers that you aim away from your face. I've done that before and just about put my teeth out. But anyway, I just like the way that looks a little bit better at that height and kind of staggering it a little bit. And I'll go ahead and I'll put another twist tie. I said I want, or not twist tie. I keep calling the twist tie a zip tie. I'm going to put another one on the evergreen also, not just the spine. Oh, thank you, Darla. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. Okay, be careful. Here I go. I'm going to use this needle nose plier again. Try not to send it after you. Okay. Okay, I like that better. Now I think we can go ahead and start putting our flowers, gluing our flowers in. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stick these down through. I'm going to put hot glue on and just stick these down through the evergreen. And when I do that, that's going to give a lot of those threads, a lot of surface area that the glue is going to stick well. Just cut this off here. Try not to get burnt. And now you can see that's already really secure in there. It's not going anywhere. So I hope you guys can see well. When I look at the camera, I think it looks to me like it's kind of far away, but you guys will just have to let me know. All right, let's get these cosmos in. And there again, while we're doing this, we're trying to maintain that V shape of the teardrop swag. Trying to rearrange this. I got that kind of messed up when I moved that rocket. There. That's good. You could use a floral pick if you wanted to get these two together. I'm putting two of these together, but if I get them started right, they'll pretty much stay together. Okay. Sometimes I'll just put my finger in there and do the twist ties or the ties around them so that I've got a good place for my flower stems to go down into, kind of like that. Hi, Patty. Thank you for joining. Hi, Maria. There again, like I said, making sure that this is keeping with that V shape. Get these guys in here. I'm going to go ahead and take these out so I don't get them messed up whenever I put the other in. Trying to fill up any holes. Like when I'm doing my wreaths, I usually don't make these stems quite so short. You can see that. That's the length of them. But there again, this is a small swag. All right, coming along. Hi, Sarah. How are you tonight? Sarah Cashman, she's one of the nurse practitioners that I work with here at the hospital. Right. I'll take these guys out too, just so I don't get them messed up. I just pulled off a bunch of the, might have to get some other ones. Just pulled off a bunch of the flower tops. Okay. This one I've got tied too tight. I've got the ribbon there, and then I've got the flower I need to get in between it. So I'm going to use my finger as a guide. As long as my finger can fit in there, then I know that the flower can. All I'm doing is making a loop to be able to stick them in. Like I said, that just gives a lot more surface area for the glue to take hold. And you've got all those little threads. Another trick too, when you're putting flower stems in, like you've got the small hole that we're putting this in, and I'll do the same thing on my deco mesh wreaths. And you know, you've got the work wreath with the tinsel ties, and I'll make them into a V, and then kind of like let me show you here what I'm talking about. You've got the stem, And we're taking that tie and we're just kind of twisting it around like that, if you can see that. And I learned a long time ago, you need to put the glue up high. Don't put your glue down here, because by the time you push that through that tie, it's going to get really tough. And it may not even go all the way down in there. So always put your glue up high, let it kind of drip down, and then as you're sliding it in, then it'll go ahead and allow you to put it down there snugly. So, all right, I need to get some more white flowers. Like I said, I pulled off a couple of the flower tops. I was taking those out. Okay, it was off that other one. Darla is asking if we're going to add any more flowers in the bottom. And yes, this one's supposed to go right here. I'm going to offset it just a little bit over to this side. And then we're going to do some other pretties down there too. Oh, thank you, Shauna, for posting that link for the easel. And actually, I'm going to try and get my husband to make a taller one too. I wanted a tabletop one to start with, but I'd like to have a taller one as well, so I don't have to use this table. It takes up a lot of space when I'm trying to do something like this. There we go. All right, so that's what we have so far. Like I said, we're going to put some other pretties in there too. We've got these, we've got stars, and we've got these curlicues. I haven't really decided what we'll put just yet. I guess we could put some of these down through here. I think that'd be good. Or I've got these also. It's little firecracker type things. You could do something like that. I don't know. I think I like these. What do you think? You guys see that? What do you think about this? To do that? Yeah, I'm thinking these might work. Yes, the curlies. Everybody likes the curlies. Okay, curlies it is. And for these, I can just use the zip tie and we'll connect it to the back like I did the others. This is getting heavy enough. I've got to put it on the back. This is the way I usually work with it. If I need to work on the back of something, I usually hang it on the other side. My husband put a hook on the other side of this as well. That way, when I'm fixing the back side of a wreath, like hiding the mechanics, or sometimes if I'm working on say for example, a floral wreath that's really, really full, and I need to fill up the middle, I can turn it around and do it from the back. So. Like I said, it's getting a little bit too heavy for me to just pick it up like I was doing before. Let me turn it around and make sure I got the right height. Yeah, I like that. All right, I'm going to put another zip tie on that one. And remember, I like to have it secured in 2 different places. All right, I'm going to get a zip tie here, or what am I talking? The needle nose pliers here, and kind of tighten it. All right, let me turn it toward me so I can kind of see where we need to put something now. We've got a lot of green showing over here. And right here. See what all I have here. I'm thinking I'm going to use these. But like I said, this is just the way I decide what I'm going to do. I just hold it up there. I'm sure everybody else has their own way of doing things. But when I go into something, a lot of times I don't know what all I might select from, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. So, and sometimes I will go ahead and I'll make it, and then I'll change my mind and undo it. I've had a few projects like that I just take it and I mull it over for a day or so, and then all of a sudden it comes to me, that's what I want. That's what I want to change. So we'll need to put something over here just to balance that out. I think that'll work, adding that little bit more bling. Now there we go. Okay. We'll connect these just like we did the flowers. When did I decide? It was going to be red, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. And Kathy's wanting to know where the swag came from. I can't. This one, I think I got it from Hobby Lobby last year after the season, but Sims Pottery has a lot of them. You can actually, Sims Pottery is probably the most reliable place to get them any time of year. The Reese Shop, Sims Pottery, you have to have a wholesale license, but the Reese Shop has them usually. I'll pull that out just a little bit like that. Okay, and then we'll put something over here. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, please just go ahead and post them. It's really hard for me to create and answer comments, and if I don't answer them here tonight live, then I always go back and I always check the comments later, and I'll answer them as I can. If I know the answer. Okay, stick that right there. Try and get all these little streamers off of there, or I can stick the glue. And like I said, start out up high and let the glue drape down or drop down, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get it in the tie. Bring it down just a little bit. All right, and we'll get the last one right there. Hi, Mary Jane. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Darla, the little red flowers look nice too. My only reason I didn't go with the little red flowers, these little cosmos, is I've got the white cosmos right here. That's why I decided not to use those, trying to mix it up a little bit. All right. Put this on there. It's filling up. I really appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Like I said, there's a lot of lives out there nowadays, and I know you have a lot of choices. I really appreciate you spending time with me. Okay. All right, let me turn it toward me just to kind of give it a eyeball and see if we need to do anything else. Might need a little bit of height over here. I've got these little doodads too. Like I said, I picked a whole box of stuff. Yeah. think that might be too much. Got this also. I don't usually use all of these together like this, like I did on the bottom. I usually break them up, but it just worked out there. I don't know, that might be too much. I'm going to cut this in half here, see what it looks like. Like I said, it's rare that I'll use all of these. Let's see. What do you think on the top? Okay, I think that everybody's voted that we'll go with these little curly cues just to give a kind of even out the height. I dropped down the rocket here, or the firecracker. I dropped it down because I didn't like the way it looked, but I think we'll put that right there. So let's get some more zip ties. I want to hang this from the back. Yeah, that'll work. Let me get some zip ties. Yes, Rhonda, I will be putting this on Etsy. Usually it'll be the next day that I put it on Etsy, because like I said, I always go back and I'll see something I want to change, make it a little bit better. And so usually by the time I get it listed, yes, and then I will be posting it, then post the link on this live as well as the posting when it's finished. But I always try to let people know whenever I do post it. Okay, Dale, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so I'm sorry. After I saw the Dale Jean, then I thought, well, that's not right. So, but now I know. But I really appreciate you joining me and always being a loyal viewer. You always say such kind things. All right, I'm just using my zip tie to secure these curly cues here. It's funny that you say that it's under your husband. I have a friend that she always uses her daughter's account on Facebook, but I also know her daughter and work with her daughter, and so I never know whenever she's messaging me or watching. I don't ever know if it's actually her or if it's her daughter. So it usually takes me a while to figure it out. So, okay, I think that helps balance it out a little bit better on top. So, okay, now I think we just need a few more spots to cover up. Right here, there's still some green, and right here. So I think what I'll do, I'll probably come on down with the white flowers. Right now, the way the weather's been, it's been kind of hard to imagine that it's ever going to get warm enough to have 4th of July, you know. I tell you, I can't remember when it stayed cold for so long, and brutal cold, just like wintertime. Yeah, we'll just put a little bit more white here, and it kind of balances out the white I have over on this side too, as you can see. Just going to make my little loop for the flowers to go in. Okay, so now that I'm talking about, is it Jamie or is it Brooke that's watching? I was just talking about you guys. Oh, I never know which one it is. There again, putting your glue up top. So that your flowers will go in and not get hung up with the glue. Might put a little bit of blue right here. There again, we're trying to cover up all the greenery. I say all, but most of the greenery. Sometimes it's so hard to get some of these tags off. Looking to see if I have any more of these. Yeah. Because when I put this over here to hide that greenery, it seems like it needs a little something over here, so I think I'll put it on both sides. And then we're almost done, I think. I have to give it one more look. I like making swags every now and then, so it just gives a little variety. I think most crafters, we get bored easily distracted. Mary Jane, no, I didn't have a white brick wall behind me. I was, if you missed early, I was explaining, this is a new setup for me. I've been struggling trying to find the right backdrop so you guys can see well. So I've toyed with the curtain, I've used wreaths, and I don't know, I just was being silly, not even thinking, well, why don't you just paint the wall behind you? So that's what I did this morning. I put a base coat on. I still got to put in 2 more layers, but I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Okay, so both Brooke and Jamie are there. Like I said, I never know which one of you it is. Jamie, you need to get your own account. It only took me like years to do that. I was so afraid. I still don't ever, I think I hardly ever use my personal account because I'm on here all the time. Forgot to make my ties, join my ties together on this one. I got talking and forgot about it, but can do it after the fact too. Okay. All right, that's what we have so far. I think we need a little something right here, then we'll be done. I'll put a little red. Yeah, a little bit of red and we'll be done. I like saving these hydrangea leaves. Like I said, it makes a great piece that you can cover up the mechanics on the back of your projects. So I don't ever throw these things away. Could ask my husband. He thinks I don't throw anything away. Thinks I'm a hoarder. I don't know, are you guys all hoarders too? I can't imagine a crafter who is not. Yeah, that's going to work. Here again, we're just gluing at the top. Let that run down. Like that, does just kind of stick out a little bit. And we'll put one right here. And Rhonda gets a lot of stuff for sewing and crafts, yes. Oh, who paints a wall and makes wreaths on the same day? Oh, heck. You know me, I can't sit still. Tell you what, that brick took a long time to paint, though, in my hands. I got paint everywhere. But I'd never painted a brick wall before. Takes a lot of paint, about twice what you think it's going to take, because it just sucks it up. And trying to get down into the grooves, all these grooves, it took a while. But my husband doesn't mind that kind of thing, because then he gets the remote. Gets the remote, he doesn't have somebody up there asking him all kinds of questions he has to answer. I think I say we're done. I think we need just something right here too. Almost. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Connie. Thank you. Lori's a ribbon hoarder. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Jean. Yeah, it's hard to, I don't know. I have to get more organized over here. Like I said, I've just kind of drug everything at the last minute over here so I could do this live tonight. So I don't feel real organized, but not that I usually am, but anyway. All right. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you. Yeah, I like swags too. I think the next one I make is going to be a sunflower one. I'm kind of getting in the mood to make something with sunflowers. Okay. All right, I think all we have to do now is just kind of straighten up the ribbons a little bit, and I think we'll be done. So, like I said, I wanted to shorten up this one a lot. And I want that to go right there, so it kind of hides that little bit of greenery that's sneaking through. And we're going to dovetail, and to do that, we're going to take both of our wired edges, and we're going to fold the ribbon in half. Let's see if I can zoom in here. We're going to fold fold the ribbon in half with the wired edges together, and we're just going to cut up toward the middle, just like that. And then you have this nice little V. Okay? All right. I think we're done, guys. Let me unzoom it here. What do you guys think? Let me move this thing out of the way so you can kind of see. All right, and like I said, this will be listed on my Etsy page probably tomorrow. I'll put a link here in the comments, and then I'll also post a picture of the finished product whenever I do get it posted. But if you have any questions that I didn't answer or any comments, then post them in the comments, and I will answer them later on after the live is over. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I would appreciate it also if you would share this to your page. It not only helps me, but then you'd be able to come back and visit to review this if you'd like later.